Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle. We have one officer shot.
We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your hosts TJ Kirgin, Dinah Death Milberg, and the lovely Krystal Powers.
What is up? Welcome to another episode of Shots Fired, where I am still not Sig Glocken, whatever his name is, because he's never here. I am Alex Dinah Death Milberg here with Justin, the one-toe wonder.
Toe popper.
I didn't like that one. I tried
It's a
to
landmine,
change it,
dude.
but you don't have just one toe, so it's not really true either. I just thought one-toe wonder sounded cool.
Well, people don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, now they do.
Well, they will when they get on your OnlyFans for feet pics.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, you can make some money on that. People got
True.
foot fetishes. What about like a mangled foot fetish?
Yeah, stranger things
try
have
it.
happened. Yeah, no, I'm good. And Krystal Powers
I was so delayed.
is here.
A mangled foot fetish
tell you
and Krystal.
Most of my life is delayed, so let's just get that out of the way right off the bat.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Stuff and thing.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Basically, we can summarize everything. World screwed. Man, that's another episode, guys. Yeah, stuff's happening, things happening. It's kind of funny too when Title 42 ended and all those migrants were rushing the border and coming in droves. Like I specifically saw articles saying illegal aliens entering U.S. are actually down since the end of Title 42. Huh? That's counter to what literally seeing.
Now, is this a case of the media doing what the media does by completely lying in our faces? Or is this just
Yeah.
like one of those statistical things where they only count like, oh, look, crime's down only because we're only measuring that based on how many people go to jail and we're not putting anybody in jail? Like one of
I
those.
used to like, well, I'll look and read and figure this out and then look into it further. Now I see something I just immediately, well, did you read it? No, I don't need to know. It's just complete BS. Not even going to waste my time reading it anymore. There's no point.
Yeah.
Because if I'm reading it on the internet from a news source, it's probably a lie.
Oh, yeah. I saw a poll that Biden, who said he's going to run again, that his poll numbers were up over like any other person, which was like,
In the history of
you're
the
wrong.
world.
No, I cannot believe that
totally
at all.
believable.
I mean, counting all the people that are buried and their death certificates are being used to vote. I mean, that's
True story. Also, let's just the fact that they said that he will not be doing any debates. Why? I
you
wonder.
can't talk, can't ride a bike.
Yeah, you can't write.
Can't walk up the stairs.
His speechwriters can't
anything.
write fast enough for him to
Well,
read.
his whole administration is just dumb. Like, I've at least seen, like with Obama, he hired smart people to lie and make stuff up for him.
Well, and he was a really likable person. He had
He
that
was.
going
He was a
for
great
him.
orator.
And he
He
was.
could sell life to an Eskimo right there. I mean, it was simple. Like, he had me believing stuff. Then I'm like, walk away and I'm like, dude, what the heck just happened with that? Behind the scenes, Secret Service with a dog.
Bamboozled
I'm like,
by the white man.
I'm like,
again.
dude, I was like, you just got bamboozled. I was like, my dog's even buying this. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. Apparently, Biden just visited one of the Marine Corps bases today and made a little slip about he lost his son in Iraq, which is not the case at all.
He did have a son who died, right?
Yeah, but it was from cancer,
Oh,
stateside, not in Iraq.
not related
So
at all.
way to lie to a bunch of troops in a military base and say your son died in Iraq.
Was he reading off a teleprompter?
No.
What?
That's the worst part. He just
Man's a creative genius. He
Yeah.
just pulls these things out of the air.
should have been a rapper.
Some of those songs now, I mean, yeah. He'd fit
Yeah,
right
I
in
mean,
with it.
mumble
rap.
rapping versus Biden.
Thanks, Bonnie Coke.
That's where they got it from, maybe. We found
Maybe that's
the
who
origins
is
of
actually-
mumble rap.
Or they're the ones writing his speeches.
Are you telling me that Biden is the ghostwriter for 21 Savage?
He just needs to talk
sense.
quicker, and then we can't actually pick apart what he's saying.
See, no, that's what mumble rap is. They do that.
Yeah, but like they say it really fast, don't they?
No, that's
they
different.
don't.
No, mumble rapping is.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to on the break. I'm gonna have to look this up because like I've heard of mumble rap, but I don't think I've ever listened to it. Like if they don't play it on the radio, I definitely haven't like purposefully searched
I don't understand why people listen to it. It's dumb. It's literally like listening to Biden's speech. I'm now convinced the two are the same thing. There is no unconvincing me of this now. It has been done. What else is going on? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. You said people with who got the old vaccine are now showing positive for AIDS.
Yes.
So that's cool.
Yes, it's autoimmune. It's just your hampered immune system, which we know it does, as well as cancer rates are supposed to go through the roof because of the vaccine.
Weird.
Like the actual mechanisms of it. I've read there's a couple people who like break down I can't keep up with all of it because they really get into it. But they break down like the actual, I'm not even going to use the right word. I'm going to embarrass myself. The strands, the particles, and like what they actually do. And it's like, it's kind of genius. Like it's
like evil genius.
Yeah. But
and then it was done deliberately.
Well, so that was actually there's an account I follow. I don't know who the person is. It could be the government in disguise. I don't know. But they break down certain aspects of how the spike proteins work and the mechanisms of action and where in nature those chemical reactions are found. And they're only found in like very, very specific, totally hard to find organisms. And one of those organisms, for example, is called Haloarchaea. You can look it up. It's really interesting. It only lives...
I totally know how to spell that.
It's Halo and then Archaea. Anyway, it only lives in extreme salt environment. I think like the salt sea, something like that. Anyway, there are traces of this organism in the vaccine, which goes to show like the way that this thing lives is only in an extreme environment. So in order for the vaccine to get out, there's absolutely no plausible or possible way that it could have, quote unquote, escaped. Like it had to have been leaked on purpose just by the mechanism of action of how this thing works. Super interesting. I mean, it's sad if you took it, but
and now have AIDS, but
well, maybe not. I don't know. I think
so. Do you actually have AIDS, or I'm guessing that it's showing up as AIDS when really it's the same autoimmune deficiency as AIDS?
Well, considering Fauci was involved in the AIDS epidemic in the 80s, and
do you think the AIDS epidemic was actually planned and done purposely?
I've read some really interesting information about.
Let's do that today. I just figured out today. We're going to go into all the different conspiracy theories that now
wait, but that's not a conspiracy theory because like it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The ones
it's like
that
something tangible you can look at under a microscope and observe and like, oh, this happened because of this.
I'm completely under the impression now that whole claim that the crack epidemic was done by the CIA and introduced in low-income black neighborhoods specifically is not BS. Like,
I didn't know that was a conspiracy theory.
Seriously?
No, I thought that was widely accepted as, well, yeah.
Well, before it was.
Oh, okay.
Before it was like, no, that is not the case. But that CIA like specifically introduced crack in the 80s into inner cities.
That's really interesting. In college, I did a paper on the recidivism rate, specifically it was just in general, but like I broke it down and it came back to crack. Like that was it from that release. Yeah. It was kind of like, oh, you can really break it down just that simple. It's like you look at the fatherlessness, you look at culture, you look at, nope, it was crack.
Literally crack is what did. And then the rest are just byproducts of crack. And now we won't mention his name, but from information we've gotten with St. Louis, meth is becoming really bad.
Really?
Yeah, whereas typically before, meth was, I was kind of shocked at first and confused, and it's not the first time I've heard it. Meth was known as how do I put this? A trailer park American drug.
Franklin County.
Yeah, a Franklin County.
Is it not anymore?
It was huge in Franklin County.
Yeah, like Jeffco and Lincoln County consistently battled for like highest meth areas in the U.S.
First place.
But he was definitely a missing some teeth, square body Dodge pickup truck driving type fellers with permanent dip rings in their back pocket type guys who did meth usually. It's not something you saw in the inner city. And recently they have been, and you don't really hear about meth labs anymore. And I live in Lincoln County.
Fair point.
You lived in a meth lab.
Not anymore. Blew up.
Doesn't your mom listen to this show?
Yeah. That's why she'll laugh. So like Lincoln County is known for having quite an issue with meth, and meth is like the meth labs have almost completely all but died off in Lincoln County. We'll talk more about it after the break. It gets pretty interesting because I did not expect this twist. Be right back after this break where people go say stuff. And just like that, we are back from the people saying things. They have names for it. I just don't remember what. I like people saying things better than commercials. So, crack.
Let's just
hell of a way to start.
tiptoe into that subject.
Yeah. So, no, now we're talking about meth. We've moved on to classier things. Meth has exploded in the inner city. Mind-blowingly enough, the cartel has moved into St. Louis pretty hardcore.
Really?
Yeah. Well, think about it, though. I thought it sounded crazy at first. Between Highway 70, 44, and 4061, that literally goes everywhere in the U.S.
Yeah.
We're called the gateway to the West for a reason.
Right.
Everything comes through St. Louis. So apparently, a lot of the meth has been getting moved in by the cartel, and they've been pushing it, dropping the price down to the point where it's not even worth manufacturing it. So on one hand, thank you to the cartel for cleaning up meth labs, but now the streets are being flooded with meth has become, I believe, one of the most affordable drugs on the market.
That's wild.
Yeah. It has even replaced fentanyl.
No.
Fentanyl's still there.
Still
It sounds like meth is top. Fentanyl, man, it was like 10 years ago, heroin was horrible. I mean, it's still bad. It's not like that hasn't changed, but it was a massive problem. That's even died off. Cost of that has gone up, but meth has continued to drop.
Okay, I don't know enough about meth, like as far as its forms. Is that another one of those drugs that they're finding fentanyl in?
As far as I'm aware, no. They haven't found fentanyl in meth. I
Don't need to.
No. Fentanyl is like a downer. That's a painkiller, so that's going to slow you down you. Meth is most definitely not a downer.
Industrial cleaners and fertilizers and crap made together.
Yeah. Basically, watch Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They literally give you the accurate recipe of how it's made and everything.
Okay, so
Quite stupid.
Sean, my husband, showed me this this guy. He makes documentaries and he interviews people from Skid Row. And the name of his show, I think it's called Softway Underbelly.
Yes,
Have you
some
seen that?
awesome stories on that.
Yeah, so he and I watched one last week, and it was a guy and a girl, and I don't know. I have very, very little to none experience with how people act when they're on drugs because I've never been around it. I mean, I could tell it was very obvious that the couple he was interviewing were on drugs only because they like moved around a lot.
Spend a weekend in the Marine Corps barracks. That's all it takes.
To
experience people on drugs.
Okay, so my ex was in the Marines, and as far as I know, none of the people that he was around, like the only thing that they would do was pot.
We had a massive issue. At one point, our weapons platoon. So weapons platoon is you've got your machine gunners, which I was a part of, your mortarmen, your assaultmen, and that's all we had for weapons platoon.
Did your assaultmen have assault rifles?
No, believe it or not, assaultmen because they shot them rockin' boys. what are those things called? I don't know. Smalls. That's what it was. Small gunners. And then they did demo.
Just harassing as well.
Yeah, no, I got that there, bud.
Yeah.
So at one point, like, we almost couldn't even go train because a large portion of weapons platoon was in the brig for cocaine.
Cocaine was bad in the
Really?
Army, too.
Yeah, and then Thursday nights was ecstasy night in the barracks.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
I watched.
crazy. Wait, is that Pendleton?
No, the stumps. There's nothing else to do. Like 29 Palms.
The other part of the
yes.
story he can't
Okay.
talk about what they did after that, though.
I legitimately watched one of our guys, one of our corpsmen, rolling his. Yeah, he was on one, and he came in. One of the first things is overheating,
Oh,
and he was dying of thirst. And he came in. He's like, "Hey, you guys got anything to drink?" I'm like, "Nah, bro. We can go to the PX later, but we got nothing."
and 29 Palms is already the armpit of
Yeah.
hell.
The way the bathrooms and barracks work, you've got 2 rooms, like a hotel room, and 2 rooms share one bathroom.
Yeah.
And there's doors on either side going to either room. So he went through one room into the other and comes into ours, and he's like, "You guys said you didn't have anything to drink." We had a communal 2-liter bottle of Pepsi that was a spit bottle.
Oh God, no.
And it was full. This was like 6 months. And we're like, "Doc, that's the spit bottle." Before we can stop him,
No, don't finish that
chugs.
sentence. Don't finish. Oh God, no.
we all just sat there. The best thing, side note, was after he finished, he capped it, he set it down. We're all staring in amazement. And all he goes is, "Who put Tabasco sauce in the Pepsi?"
Oh God, no.
And runs off. Well, later that night, when drugs had fully taken their effect, he believed he was Spider-Man and Green Goblin was after him.
Did he jump off of something?
He yeeted himself off the 3rd story of the barracks
God.
and broke his back.
Oh,
He ended up getting
jeez.
discharged from the Navy for it. Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a long way around to say I have been around people who've done
Oh my gosh.
But no,
What a-
Soft White Underbelly is amazing. There's some crazy stories there, and like you see how people can get caught up in some of this stuff because you always wonder, like, how do people let their lives go to that? Well, some of the times you hear the story and you're like, oh, okay.
You know, the story that I hear the most frequently is from friends of friends or friends of family members that they're in some car accident, usually.
Yep.
They go to the hospital, introduced to painkillers,
Hooked. from
hooked.
there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a real common one. But it's interesting to hear we're dealing with, we're in Missouri. We're nowhere near the Mexican border, but yet there's cartel influence in the city. Mm-hmm. So what do? We literally just open the borders completely wide open with little to no control and expect things not to progressively get worse. I mean, look at San Diego right now,
What's happening
San
to San Diego?
Francisco, LA. Like, the drug problem is enormous. The homeless problem is enormous. This is only going to exacerbate that times 100. It's going to be so much worse. I don't even know how at this point. But like, how bad is it going to get? I mean, when's the last time you were in LA or San Diego?
Not that long ago, actually.
It's bad.
Well, I don't go to the bad parts. I don't.
Last time I was there, that was all parts.
I mean, like, for example, Skid Row's downtown. You don't go anywhere near there.
How long ago were you there last?
Last year.
Okay. Last time we were there, around the same time, maybe a year before, we were in Beverly Hills, and there was homeless camps in Beverly Hills.
So, yeah, when I lived there, we lived in Venice, and then we lived in Santa Clarita, and Venice was, Venice has always been, Venice Beach has always been known for, like hippies and like people who like to, what's the word? They're like, there's a name for it. People who are homeless who seasonally travel based on like where the most favorable climates are.
And that is one reason why that area attracts so much of it. You can be homeless there. Like, it would be really hard to be homeless in Fairbanks, Alaska.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, or like Brownsville, Texas.
Yeah, probably not as popular.
Yeah, or Montana. Not going to see a lot of homeless people in those areas. But something like Florida, a little bit of rain, but you can get used to that. Or parts of California, it's pretty understandable.
Yeah.
We'll continue our random rants and conversations right after this break where more people are going to tell you about things. What is up, my homies? I'm trying to start that the widest way possible. Wow, that was uncomfortable. Krystal, tell us what you have going on in a few days.
So I've got my and my husband we're opening a nutrition shop in Warrenton. It's called Higher Nutrition, and we're actually pretty much all ready to go. We've got all of our supplements set up. We've got First Form. We've got Axe and Sledge. We've got Legendary Labs, which if you follow Goob on Instagram, so he's my coach, but he also kind of blew up lately because he calls out people who Photoshop their pictures on Instagram, but like people who have like 1 million followers. So he calls them out. Anyway, you should check him out. It's pretty entertaining. And he also has been calling out like people in the fitness industry who are pedophiles. So
really?
Yeah. So he used to, his background is, he went to law school, but he kind of fell in love with coaching. So he has the knowledge. He just doesn't like quote unquote practice. But it's funny because like when you see people, he'll call somebody out, he'll make a video about it. He'll show like, hey, look, this is where they brought in their waist. This is where they brought out their hips. Like it's super obvious when he points it out. And I don't know, I feel like he's trying to bring some like decency back to the fitness space. Like
it's gotten a little out there.
Well, yeah. He's like, you have a responsibility, especially the more followers you have, to like, especially how it's really trendy to say like, be authentic, like love your body, love yourself. You're perfect the way you are. And then all these same people are like photoshopping the out of their pictures. And a lot of times people don't know. Anyway, where was I going with that? Our nutrition shop. So, yeah, we've got the supplements, and then we've got CBD and THC and kratom, which I've been reading about. Super interesting. Do you know anything about kratom?
I was just about to ask you.
So, like, I've seen it on, like, the billboards on the freeway, like all the Delta 8, Delta 9, kratom. I didn't know what any of those
Someone
were.
tried to explain that to me, and I just stared at them like they could have been speaking some other language.
Okay, so you know that your brain has an endocannabinoid system. Like, there's a specific part of your brain that is made that connects with the hemp plant, which is like, you could study that forever. It's super fascinating.
I was not aware, like, you can speak to the plant?
No, the plant speaks to you. Well, which is where laugh it up. Which is where
That's
CBD
what's been telling me to buy motorcycles?
And no, probably not.
Babe, I swear it was the plant. Yeah, that's believable.
How much of it did you eat?
All of it, right?
Yeah, so we sell that too. And kratom comes from a plant that's in the same family as coffee. And yeah, so when you take it in small doses, it causes euphoria. When you take it in larger doses, it numbs your pain because it reacts to your opioid receptors. So a lot of people who are coming off of opiates, they will switch over to kratom because it's literally comes from a plant. And however,
without the dependency.
No. So that's the problem. Because it's in the same family as coffee, it does have addictive qualities, just like coffee does. You can literally.
I did not know coffee had, other than caffeine, addictive qualities.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So that's so when people legitimately, don't talk to me before I've had their coffee and get cranky, that's a literal dependency. Then.
You
it's not
can
just
have
a white girl thing.
Very literal withdrawals. Yes.
I just thought that was because it was on a Target shirt near Starbucks that became.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's one of those things that people like. Oh,
church
I'm addicted.
up a little bit. Yeah.
Like, are you like clinically addicted, or are you just? Yeah. Anyway, so that's opening next week. Right now, I think we're going to open on Wednesday, and I wish I remembered the date for Wednesday. Wednesday, May 24th. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, I guess it'd be the 20th.
Don't start that again. This whole future past.
Yeah, that was really confusing.
I tried to track that as best as possible. I still don't.
I gave up.
we've probably contacted people in the future about the past and opened some sort of space continuum time portal now.
Is that what the Camaro does?
You didn't actually do the rough. The rough did you.
So you drove your Camaro here.
I did.
How was it?
Excellent gas mileage. Just thoroughly impressed with it.
Is that sarcasm?
Yeah.
What do you get for real?
Honestly, it depends. If I'm driving normal,
Which I don't think he's done.
You're normal
He
or
knows he
like
hasn't driven
normal?
one.
no, like legitimately trying to get good gas mileage, going mostly the speed limit ish. I'll get 22 to 26.
What? That's really good.
Yeah. If I get on it at all, 8 to 12. It drops drastically. However, like, you've been in it. I never really had anything fast. I've had, fast bikes, but car-wise, and this thing still scares me.
Yeah, be careful. We know what happened with the last fast bike you had.
Yeah. That didn't go well.
I wouldn't take the same route in your car today.
It wasn't my fault. I wasn't going fast. I wasn't even
but I still
moving.
wouldn't take the same route since it was leaving the radio show.
Yeah.
I would go the
that
complete
was-
opposite way.
You'll have that with them BMW jobs. Typical BMW driver, not looking where he's going. That was fun. We've got your shop
accident.
opening up Wednesday. You know,
Yes.
that's the other thing I want to talk about. Events. We have a ton of events for those of you who are just tuning in and immediately regretting it. We run Tactical SHT in St. Peter's, and we're trying to keep things going during the summer. It dies off during the summer really bad, so we try to come up with ways to get people in. We've actually got a fair amount of stuff going this summer. Monthly CCW classes. We will now be having somebody who comes in our combatives room and teaches a concealed and carry license class. $100. Get your CCW permit. So we've got that going once a month. The first Friday of every month is our night vision workshop. To
Oh, you're
piggyback
gonna
on
do it
that-
again. Thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it is
missed
the
one.
first Friday of every month we
Cool.
do that. On top of it, we have teamed up with Ultimate Defense since they have the firing range. Airsoft, clearing the warehouse with airsoft is fun. People love doing it. But people also want to shoot actual guns under night vision. So we have been able to team up with Ultimate Defense, and they are doing a night vision shooting league where you're going to be doing different drills for time and have an open bay area where you can go in and just, if you haven't done it before, you're trying to get your stuff all figured out, you can go in with your night vision. We might have, and I can't guarantee it all of them, but we're going to attempt to have a couple of units you can try out if you're curious. If you're an Ultimate Defense Gold or Platinum member, it's going to be $70 or $50. If you're not a member or just a regular standard member, $75 for the evening. It's 2 hours. They're going to black out both bays. One bay is going to be for different drills. One bay is going to be for test fire and zero. You know, if you've got an IR laser you want to zero in, or red dot or something like that, you've got time to do it. But it's a way for you to be able to go out with your night vision and actually work on some drills and fundamentals, because lots of people are buying this, but unfortunately, if you don't have property of your own, other than taking classes and stuff, getting to use this stuff at night is difficult, considering most outdoor shooting ranges are conservation ranges and close at sunset.
Yeah.
You can always risk it trying to sneak in, but if you get caught doing that, it's bad.
Like, you'd be better off just walking around East St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're suppressed, yeah, you won't get noticed at all.
You
So
have to be suppressed.
you don't need to be either, actually. No one's going to come around. So it gives you a chance to be able to get some training in, get some reps in. And if I would encourage you, this isn't for, our workshop is people who are interested in night vision, serious buyers, and then people who just want a chance to put night vision on. We know that a majority of people showing up to these are probably not remotely going to buy night vision.
Until after they do it, then they really want it.
Yeah.
It is pretty sweet.
This event is more for people who are very set and just not sure what they want. So it's worth the money if you come out and hit up our Facebook page, Tactical SHT St. Louis. And, if somebody shows interest and really wants to try a set on, we can bring it out and I'll arrange it to let you use something for the course. Just hit us up beforehand. Hit me up on Instagram, Dynadeth Milberg, or just stop by the shop and ask us about it, and we'll make sure we've got a set for you to use at this event if you're seriously considering purchasing.
You want me to give him out your personal number too?
No, please don't. You guys have already done that. We don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, he had it on his business card, and no one.
Everybody just decided to hand my business cards out. Yeah.
Well,
So I'll get random phone calls and text messages like, "Who is? Oh, I got your card from the shop." Oh, that's awesome.
May or may not have told us like 2 different times, and I still handed them out because we didn't have any to hand out. So, hey, I'm advertising for the company. We're trying to make money. Sig, Lock, and Cole would be proud.
Right.
Is he still in Florida?
Yeah.
Ugh. The audacity.
About to take over the show myself.
Collision con.
Yeah, he's coming back tomorrow.
I was saying, better start heading back, otherwise he's gonna miss Collision.
Do we have an Instagram page for this show yet?
No, because now we're trying to figure out if he's going to rename it or not. No point in starting a Facebook page if he's going to rename it.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots going on this summer. Also, hopefully by next week, I will be introducing medical courses again. Also, we have a female. She's doing the medical courses. She also wants to do women's situational awareness classes, which I think would be huge.
We've had a few people asking about that are seriously interested.
We'll have that going. So again, you guys have heard us on this show ad nauseum talk about this and beat it to death of situational awareness, using flashlights, stuff like that. Well, now if you don't want to be intimidated by having male instructors, we are going to have a female who, no pressure, just like everybody else, is going to be out there teaching situational awareness, oil light stuff, and some, emergency trauma classes, stuff like that.
I mean, don't confuse her though. She did the ruck march and she rocked it. So
yeah,
she's pretty tough. So if you come in there thinking you're gonna ace through everything, I'd second guess it.
Yeah, you may want to rethink that.
Keep an open mind. Pay attention.
But we should have some good classes and lots of good events coming this summer. We're working on even more. I'll probably try to put together midsummer some sort of customer appreciation day too. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Get Nate to barbecue, man. And just to look for an excuse to have him barbecue more.
Yeah.
What else do we have going on?
We can add another event where $20 a pop, you can throw a flashbang at Alex in his office when he's not paying attention. We need that.
This sounds so much fun.
I think we'd raise a lot of money.
I'm already mostly deaf. We don't need to add.
So it wouldn't bother you then?
We do Michael.
Well, that's an extra 20 on top of that if you want to do that.
Let's just make it that, period. Your dog's going to bite you if you flashbang anymore around him. That's what really
poor
gonna.
Papa.
He does not like that. Sarge is here with us. You can't see him because he's under the desk, and this is radio.
He's like, "Why'd you guys just wake me up, dude?"
Sarge, say hi. Good talk. What else do we have? There hasn't been anything in the firearms community. There's been nothing. The brace ban is days away from taking effect. There has been numerous attempts at overturning it, at stays, at injunctions, and nothing is going through. It is bound to continue on and take effect May 31st. So
might as well start paying your taxes, tax stamps,
or just just leave it at that. There's a third option. There's
or just
always
dot dot dot.
Exactly.
Are those level 4?
Yeah. Is that an unregistered SBR? I don't know. Are those level 4 plates? That type of thing. Speaking of that, we have that lightweight combo in store now. Where if you're looking for the ultimate lightweight carrier setup,
would be Alex. Oh, sorry.
I hate you sometimes.
Hey, I had to say I thought of it right there.
We have our ICW in conjunction with plates with our soft armor inserts. So I think total you're looking at probably 7 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Everything
They're super light.
For rifle rated protection. Won't stop armor piercing, but it'll stop 5.56, 7.62 by 39, and handgun.
So this is like a rectangular piece that you insert into like a vest or something?
We will talk about armor after this break. Funny
Excellent.
you asked that question. We will be back after more people talk about stuff and things. We are back from people talking about stuff and things. Hopefully that things and stuff was informative about stuff and things you like. See how I did that there?
I just appreciate how direct you are about it.
Yes. Well,
No need
stuff
to
and
fluff
things
it
are
up.
important. No, there's many people talking about things and stuff. I mean, if you think about it deeply enough,
Oh, no.
that's all this is talking about stuff and things. Is there really that big of a difference between an actual show and the commercial? It's all just people talking about stuff and things they think about. It's all the same. Is a commercial really a commercial? Or is the radio show itself a
One
non-segmented
giant commercial.
But it's not even non-segmented because it's segmented as well.
I thought of another fundraiser. $20 to see me slap Alex in the face.
Joke's on you. I'm just going to stomp on your foot. I thought I wouldn't hit a kid, handicap guy when he's down. Bet.
I'd be hitting you in the first place.
You couldn't catch up with me. I just stomp on your foot and run. Didn't
My
play
dog
this
runs.
one out, did you? Oh, okay, we'll play it.
You didn't play that out either, did you?
No, touche.
And he's got teethuses.
I'll just give him a snack.
Yeah, your
Ooh.
butt cheek.
Legitimately, what would win? Like, if you sent Sarge after somebody and they pulled out a snack, what would happen?
Knowing him,
Which
he'd probably
one?
still bite the snack and bite them. Probably take both of them.
I could see that. Yeah, he would do both. He would bite them and then get the snack.
Or bite their hand with the snack and just
Yeah.
hold onto their hand. And
Yeah, that's probably accurate. I've always wondered that. Like, you see canine dogs, like, they'll have them go bite. It's like, what if somebody just pulled out a snack? If you're a criminal, just start carrying snacks with you, man. Just dog treats. Cops and canine. I was ready for this. Treat, get it.
donut one way, dog treat the other way.
That's the winning combo, right? Why are you wearing a vest full of dog treats and donuts? About to do some good rat stuff.
It's gonna have one side of donuts, one side of dog treats.
That photo shoot has to happen now. It's actually brilliant.
Let's do it.
I want to see the first news article when someone tries this. Man robs bank with nothing more than donuts and canine treats. Successfully gets away with $3.2 million.
Okay, you were going to tell me about armor.
Yeah, so you were saying square thingy that goes in a plate carrier.
Yeah.
There's multiple different cuts when it comes to armor. So you've got your square cut. It's usually more of a rectangle than a square.
Yeah.
Those are more for backpacks. You've got your ESAPI cut, which I honestly cannot tell you what an ESAPI cut is. That's just the military standard.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit larger of a plate, really, is all it is.
But you can get ESAPI in different size. ESAPI is a cut in itself.
They're
I just don't understand
Yeah.
what the cut is. Then there's shooter's cut, which literally just has cuts into the top of the plate so you can shoulder a rifle.
Huh.
And then there's swimmer's cut that is cut a little more of a V at the top that would go near your chest. So not only you can shoulder a rifle, but get full rotation of your shoulder and your arms swimming. Because you typically go swimming with armor on. I always wondered that one.
Quite thorough.
Yeah. So
But they're
there's
not actually that big, though, right?
no, the standard size, they have extra large plates that are 11 by 13. Your standard plate is 10 by 12.
So basically a piece of paper size.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much the same size as a piece of paper. Depending on what level you get, anywhere
That's your
between.
standard, like, ESAPI cut.
I can't
It's kinda
tell.
low. It's not like
We're looking at it, and I think ESAPI is the closest to a full rectangle you're going to get. It's cut out more for shooter's cut and even more for swimmer's cut. So just imagine more relief cuts. You've got a rectangle, and imagine if you turn the top of it into a type of a V. So plates thickness vary. I've seen them as thin as like half an inch, up to about an inch thick.
That's really thick.
Yeah.
I mean, you're carrying it around all day, I assume.
Yeah, and then weight is literally anywhere from 2.5 pounds to 10 pounds of plate.
Yeah, I remember reading this thread. Don't ask me how or why I was on there. It was about police officers, and they were talking about how a lot of the times they wouldn't wear their vests because it was so heavy. And like it made them sweat sitting in their cars all day. And so they wouldn't wear them.
Yeah, no, that's a major issue with law enforcement, and it makes sense. The hot and
okay.
sweaty part, I don't really want to hear it because we had to wear this stuff for sometimes 14, 16, 18 hours a day.
Right. Well, that was going to be my next question.
130 degrees.
Yeah.
Like with how small they were, how effective are they really? You know what I mean?
So
Like
your vitals.
you gotta test that essentially.
Lots of people like to think that it's supposed to make you like bulletproof. No, it's just to protect heart and lungs, basically. That's it. Heart and lungs. So it doesn't need to be a huge plate. Like,
Do they have a flappy one that's like the shape of a watch, or was that just
so
some
that's
dumb
just
movie
soft
I
level
saw?
3. That's just for
okay.
shrapnel. That's a groin protector. So Iraq and Afghanistan in combat zones, that's a real thing you need because one of the biggest threats was you were more likely to hit an IED
Right.
than get in a gunfight. As a cop, you're more likely to get in a gunfight than hit an IED. I would hope. So that's really not a necessity. So typically, honestly, you're really looking at it, and I'm holding my hand between like my chest and my stomach. That big of a space is all you're worried about. Think of where your heart and lungs are. That's really all you're needing. It's you get hit in the gut, it sucks, but you'll survive. You'll make it to the ER. You get hit in this box here,
Yeah.
you ain't making it to the ER. So that's all the armor is it's supposed to make it to where you'll survive till you can get medical attention. Protect the stuff that's going to shut you down immediately if you get hit there, and leave only the stuff that can deal exposed.
It just seems like if we're talking minimalism, I like to think like if I was going to put myself in a physically harmful situation on purpose, like compare the little piece of paper sized armor that's on your chest to like, for example, I'll just pick something like a knight in armor. Like, yo, that's your whole body.
Think about it this way, though. It's kind of rate of return. You are not going to be able to maneuver, move quickly, any of that if you have a whole bunch of armor on and a bunch of stuff covered. Yeah, you can take more hits, but if you're covered head to toe in armor or have a massive, like your whole front and whole back is covered in armor, I'm going to be able to ding you 10 times in the chest. So it doesn't matter you have extra armor on, you're slow and you're an extra target. If you have less armor on, yeah, you may have less protection, but you're able to move quick, get around, climb over stuff, maneuver. Now, cops,
EOD techs wear their bomb suit is about how fast you'll be able to move. Like it's just like super like methodical, I guess at that point is what you can say because you're not moving fast at all.
You gain protection, but it really kind of defeats the purpose because you're exposing yourself more than you need to be.
That's dumb. What if you're on a Segway?
Paul Blart.
Law enforcement, I get it. Yeah, it's hot, it's miserable, and I don't want to wear this all day. Well, I mean, I like living personally, so suck it up, Buttercup. Now, where I will say there's a difference, we didn't really chase people on foot in a combat zone. You do run, but it's very short bursts. No 50 to 100. Yeah, in your case, just send the dog, sit back and relax.
Dude, the Rangers love that.
So there is that. That's why it's worth it if you're law enforcement. Spend the extra money, get the higher end plates that are lighter weight, or get in better shape.
I mean, they're not going to be comfortable regardless. Even like when I was in the best shape, they're not comfortable. But
You know what's even more uncomfortable though?
getting shot in the chest.
Getting shot in the chest. Bingo. And I mean, that's one thing that blows my mind. We got to wrap up here, but there is cops in this day and age where, at least in St. Louis, most crimes, weapons being used are rifle rounds. That issued soft armor is not even really going to slow that bullet down. You might as well not even wear armor at this point. And in a day and age where that's what you're facing, step up, get in better shape, use it as an excuse, buy yourself ceramic plates because soft armor is not cutting it.
Yeah, I
Most
read this.
handgun rounds will go right through.
Just yesterday, there was a statistic that during the height of Iraq and Afghanistan combined, there were less people killed than people in Chicago last year.
We will end on that bombshell.
No pun intended.
We'll see you guys
dear.
next week. Stay out of Chicago.